All Things Mavs.
Mavs fans, welcome into All Things Mavs. I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, and today I want to try to get this channel to 10,000 subscribers. Now, I know it's not all going to happen in one video. I know we're going to take time to get there, but you guys helped us get to 8,000 like that, and I know that you can help me get to 10,000 before the season gets going again in December, maybe even before the NBA draft, but I might be kind of pushing it there. But please subscribe to All Things Mavs if you haven't already. Listen, I'm a diehard Mavs fan for life. I love doing this for you guys, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Now let's get to our first rumor of the day. We're going to talk about Serge Ibaka of the Toronto Raptors. I tweeted this out on my All Things Mavs Twitter account just last night, or actually I guess this morning, and was talking about, hey, Sean Devini says the Mavs are one of 6 teams that are truly interested in Serge Ibaka. And it makes a lot of sense because you look at this Mavericks team, they said they wanted to get tougher. They've said they wanted to improve defensively. They said that they wanted another veteran. Serge Ibaka does all of those. The Mavs need a guy that is willing to punch a dude in the mouth to win a game. Ibaka has proven time and time again that he's willing to do that. Plus, he's just 31 years old. I saw some people freaking out on Twitter like, oh, he's too old. What's he going to do? Help coach? He's 31. That's the kind of veteran, that's the age you need to add to this young core. Now, the Mavs weren't the only team interested. The other teams include the Boston Celtics, who are very realistic as they need a true big man. Los Angeles Clippers, with their starting center being Ivica Zubac, they might want to look to upgrade there, especially with Montrezl Harrell potentially leaving. The Lakers, I don't think he'll go to the Lakers because they already have McGee, they already have Dwight Howard, who will probably be back. They already have Anthony Davis. That's 3 solid big men in the rotation. And then there's the Miami Heat. That's also a very realistic possibility as their backups to Bam Adebayo are probably gone this offseason. Now, Ibaka has proven after the last 4 years that he is still a consistent player. You all know him as the Oklahoma City Thunder Ibaka that we schooled, of course, in 2011. Shout out to our GOAT, Dirk Nowitzki, for making Serge Ibaka his son. But that is besides the point because this guy can still play. He still scores the ball at an efficient 15 points per game. He still blocks shots per game at a very efficient rate at nearly 1 per game on a consistent basis. And he has become a reliable three-point shooter. You get him at the top of the key. You get him in a pick and roll. You get him in a pick and pop. He does all of those things very well. And that's why I believe Ibaka would be such a good fit on this team. Plus, he defends the rim at a very solid rate, something the Mavs don't have right now outside of Kristaps Porzingis. And really, Ibaka is a better overall defender than Porzingis is right now. I mean, Porzingis, he's touch and go when it comes to defense, but if you're going to go up against a big physical center, I'd rather throw Serge Ibaka in there rather than Kristaps Porzingis. So my idea is you sign Ibaka to the mid-level because really the Mavs don't have much more to play with than that. You put him in the middle. You start him at center at day 1. Now, I believe the Mavs will roll Dwight Powell out as the starting center again next year, but what I would love is to see the combination of Maxi, Kleber and Dwight Powell coming off the bench once again. I think we all can agree that both Maxi and Dwight Powell are good players. Maxi is one of my favorite role players. Dwight Powell is one of my favorite players on the Mavs as a guy and as a pick-and-roll guy. But they're better suited off the bench. And both of them together, that would be a fun duo to put back off the bench. And it might happen if the Mavs can bring in a Serge Ibaka. So I am all in on the Serge Ibaka train. He's tough. He's defensive-minded. He can shoot the basketball like Rick Carlisle likes his big men to do. And he's not going to be that expensive. He's going to look to win a ring. The Mavs are a very realistic contender in the next few years. Give him the mid-level exception, maybe even a little bit more if you really can clear up the cap space. And let's do this thing, Serge. If you're watching, come to the Mavs. So let me ask you guys this. What is your interest level in Serge Ibaka? 1 to 10. So a 1 would be, I wouldn't even give him the minimum. I don't want him at all. A 5 would be, I'd give him a couple million, but probably not the mid-level. 10, you'd sign him past the mid-level, probably $15 million per year. I'm going to put it at about an 8. I would give him the mid-level, hope he takes it, and if not, move on to the next guy. But I'm a very high on signing Serge Ibaka. Now, the Mavs are very active in trade talks right now as we get closer and closer to the NBA draft on November 18th, which will be live for On Chat Sports, of course. And they are shopping that 18th pick along with the 31st overall pick that could land them either a player or it could move them into the lottery. So I want to show you guys the lottery order to know the kind of teams the Mavs could be calling about a potential pick. Timberwolves at 1, Golden State at 2, Charlotte at 3, Chicago at 4, Cleveland at 5. Those teams, unrealistic. You're probably not going to get any of those picks from really what the Mavs have to offer. You can probably throw together some kind of package that would include a Brunson and a Seth Curry, and maybe you can move up there along with 18 and 31, but then you're probably giving up too much. I don't think any of these teams are going to be calling the Mavs about moving back. Maybe the Warriors want to move back, but not all the way to 18, or they probably don't want to get their pick back at 31. Get a little bit more realistic here with 6 through 10. The Hawks at 6, Detroit at 7, New York at 8. I think all those teams probably keep their picks. Atlanta might look to move back, but not all the way to 18. The Wizards at 9 are an interesting team to keep an eye on because there are reports that if they don't find James Wiseman at 9 or Onyeka Okongwu, that they will move back. But I don't know if 18 is far enough. The Suns at 10. Watch out for them in the Mavs with Kelly Oubre potentially being a player there. The Spurs at 11, Kings at 12, New Orleans at 13, and Boston at 14. Those are the 4 teams that I think the Mavs have the best chance to make a deal with if they really want to get into the lottery. High lottery? No. Into the lottery? Yes. And there's going to be a lot of good players at the end of the lottery. But before I tell you the trade that I think the Mavs could make to actually do that, I want to tell you about our friends at Fanatics that are hooking you up with these awesome deals on some great Mavs face masks at chatsports.com/Mavs mask. Look, I got mine right here. All you got to do is go pick yours up if you want to be like me. They have all the styles available ready for you. Chatsports.com/Mavs mask. Any mask you want, any team you want. Maybe you're an NFL fan. Go pick up some NFL masks as well with that season going on. But new styles coming out on a regular basis. I throw this thing in the wash just about every night, or every night that I do wash, because I don't wash my clothes every day. But hey, who does? Anyway, you can go to chatsports.com/Mavs mask. These masks are up to 30% off. Get yours today from our friends over at Fanatics. Now, I do want to keep talking about this potential trade, and the team that I think is the most realistic to trade with, the Sacramento Kings, who have the 12th pick and the 55th pick in this year's draft. Now, the Kings, yes, they need talent, but they also need some depth and some role players, and 31 and 18 give you a better chance at hitting on 2 role players than 12 and 55 do. There's a lot of talk about the Kings potentially moving out of the 12th spot if they don't find a guy that they absolutely love, and in all reality, I don't know who the Kings are going to love at 12, but maybe they find 2 guys at 18 and 31 that they are so gung-ho on. So I think you make this call. You call up the Kings and you say, listen, we're going to give you 18 and 31. You give us the 12th pick and the 52nd pick. That way the Mavs get some kind of second rounder back. That's probably not that valuable. And they get the 12th overall pick, which allows them to take a guy that will be a mainstay in their rotation. These are 5 guys that I think the Mavs could target at 12, or if they move into the lottery. Devin Vassell being the best of the best. I think he's going to go top 10, maybe right before the Mavs could pick at 12 at 11. Patrick Williams is another guy that, with his upside, he could easily be a top 10 pick. And then you get to the more realistic guys. Saddiq Bey, Aaron Nesmith, Cole Anthony. And I'll tell you what, if Saddiq Bey's sitting there at 12, the Mavs should do everything they can to call Sacramento and get there and take the kid out of Villanova. But you saw those 5 guys. Maybe you've got another guy in mind. There's reports that Deni Avdija might be slipping. If he falls out of the top 10, I'm definitely trading up for him. Maybe a LaMelo Ball falls out, but no thanks. Don't want a Ball brother in Dallas. But name one player you would trade up for. Maybe it's Saddiq Bey. I've seen some of you Mavs fans love Aaron Nesmith. I get that. I love him too. Maybe it's Deni Avdija. Maybe it's a Cole Anthony. Whoever it is, shout it out in the comments section. Let's talk about Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Yes, believe it or not, he is in the rumor mill right now, although he was barely even in the Mavs rotation. And the latest rumor is that Mark Berman of the New York Post is reporting the Knicks have interest in Michael Kidd-Gilchrist this offseason, and the Mavs are leaning toward letting Kidd-Gilchrist walk. Now, MKG only played in 13 games with the Mavs. He had a couple nice showings in the playoffs. He played some solid defense every once in a while, but here's the report on Mark Berman, and then let me tell you why I couldn't care less about this. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, the number 2 pick in the 2012 NBA draft, has established himself as a defensive specialist, is on the Knicks free agent radar. When the market opens a few days after the November 18th drafts, sources said Dallas is leaning toward letting MKG walk. Now, Kidd-Gilchrist did not play well, really at all, with the Mavs. He averaged less than 1 point per game. He averaged less than 3 rebounds per game. He averaged less than half an assist per game. And he only played in 13. So, congratulations, Knicks. You can target ex-Mavs all you want. We have three of your best players in Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Kristaps Porzingis. But Trey Burke is one of the 4 free agents for the Mavs. Now, obviously, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Willie Cauley-Stein have player options, so keep that in mind. But these are the 4 guys that are expected to hit the open market. And I think the Mavs have interest in bringing at least 2 of them back in Trey Burke and J.J. Barea. Not sure how much interest there is in bringing back Courtney Lee and MKG. But if you had to choose one of these 4, you only get one to bring back. Which one are you going to bring back? Type TB for Trey Burke, CL for Courtney Lee, MKG for MKG, or JJ for Jose Juan Barea. Now, hater producer Sam says don't bring Courtney Lee back. I'm typing my TB for Trey Burke. He is my guy. I want him back. And you know what? If JJ wants another contract, what the heck? Hey, Mavs fans, as always, go Mavs and go subscribe.